Paige Bueckers is a superstar offensively. It's what she's most renowned for. Her playmaking ability is generational. Her scoring touch from all areas of the court is some of the best we've seen for a WNBA prospect at her age. I mean, the way she's able to completely transform and make UConn's offense so dynamic is incredible. However, that's common knowledge by now. What isn't so often talked about for Paige Bueckers is her defense, and early on in the 2022 NCAAW season, Bueckers' defense has made noticeable improvements where you could consider her to be a top defender in the country now. So, in today's video, I'll be discussing some key factors that I believe make Paige such a great defender, breaking down some footage to back that up, and overall shining a light on probably the most underappreciated part of her game. Before we start, if you're new here and enjoy the video, be sure to subscribe. For more women's basketball content like this, I'd love to reach 1,000 subscribers on this channel by the end of the year, so all support would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, with that being said, let's talk about Paige Bueckers. The first thing that I've noticed with Paige defensively is how she utilizes her athleticism to her advantage. Paige has an explosive first step and is overall a quick-moving player, often running long routes offensively to free herself up, or moving quickly in transition to get a fast break. Defensively, this helps her as she has great lateral quickness to stay in front of her defender and keep up with them around screens. As you can see in this clip here from the game against Seton Hall, her ability to stay in front of her opponent cuts off a clear drive to the basket, forcing a pass back outside for a contested shot that had very little chance of going in. It's these plays that surprise opposition guards and make Paige a very good defender. At her height of 5'11", she can match up with almost any guard and be unlikely to be beat. And again, that was particularly seen in this clip and throughout the game overall against Seton Hall. I mean, at one point during the third quarter, Seton Hall had just 2 points inside the paint for the whole match. And I'm pretty sure they finished with under 10 for the whole game. That speaks volumes not only about how Paige has been defending, but also how much the interior defense for UConn as a whole has improved, something that needed to happen after their poor loss to South Carolina. But back to Bueckers. Another great part of Paige's defense is her effort and intensity. Bueckers is always hustling back in transition and never gives up on a play. This can be seen here against Seton Hall, where Paige sprints back after getting a bucket to intercept a lofty pass, eventually resulting in a fast break opportunity for the Huskies. It's moments like these that are able to inspire the UConn squad and give them energy, and Paige's continuing to prove her hustle defensively is something that oppositions need to look out for and plan for. Using that same clip again and another clip here from the Notre Dame match, Paige has also great instincts overall as a defender. Gino Auriemma sums up greatly with a quote about why Paige has these great instincts defensively, allowing her to pick off passes that no one else seems to know are coming. Gino says she's smart. She knows where the ball is going all the time. She's so smart offensively that when she's on defense, she knows exactly where they're going to try to go with the ball. It's hard to put it much better than that. Paige is always one step ahead of everyone else on the court, both offensively and defensively. And to try to not repeat Gino here, that high basketball IQ of Paige allows her to make reads defensively that the opposition wouldn't expect her to pick up. The stats back up Paige's elite defense as well. There are just 2 players on other ranked teams that average more steals per game than her, in Ryan Howard from Kentucky and Emily Ryan from Iowa State. And Paige is not far off from their numbers, currently averaging 2.7 steals per game. Even as a guard, Paige can get up to block shots, averaging just under 1 a game. To me at least, she's a top defensive guard in the country. It's just her offense is so brilliant, it doesn't get mentioned as much. With her effort, athleticism, instincts, and high basketball IQ, Paige has quietly become one of the better defensive players in the nation, and I think it's time we finally recognize her as such. Finally, before we end today's video, I just want to quickly talk about Paige's recent injury, as it's obviously something pretty serious for her and UConn. I'm praying for her recovery, being that she's my favorite player and all, but I am a bit frustrated to see it happen because it really should have been prevented. Up about 20 points in the final minute of the match, there is just no way, in my opinion, that she should have been out there playing. I have a lot of respect for Gino Auriemma and the coaching decisions he makes. I mean, he's probably the greatest coach of all time at the collegiate level, but to keep Paige in the game at that point is just dumb. He says he doesn't like the offense when Paige isn't on the floor, which is fair, and Paige doesn't want to come off the floor either. Again, that's fair. But there comes a point where it doesn't really matter. There's no need for Paige to be out there running the offense how Gino wants when the game is essentially done, because, as we saw in the end, it's a pointless risk to take. We know how amazing Paige is, so those garbage time minutes should be better used to develop the younger players on the squad, like Caroline Ducharme, something like that. As of when writing, I don't know how serious the injury is, so hopefully it's something that Paige can easily bounce back from. But again, it's just very frustrating to see this happen to her at a time of the game where she should be on the bench resting. Anyway, those are just my thoughts on it all. Didn't really want to make a full video about it, so I figured I'd briefly mention it here. But what do you guys think of this? What are your thoughts on Paige's defense? Be sure to let me know down below in the comments below what you guys think of this and the notes that I pointed out today. If you did enjoy this film breakdown, be sure to leave it a like and subscribe. All support is much appreciated as we get closer to that 1,000 subscriber goal. But with that all being said, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.